Good morning, everyone. Happy October. It's October 1st already, which is really amazing. I am not really sure where September went, although I do have to say that the month of September, at least the first half of it, I actually celebrated my birthday several times. Quiet times. They were quiet celebrations with individual friends, but really fun. I really loved. I really loved it. I loved getting, having lunch out with this friend or that friend, and that was a really fun way to celebrate my birthday. Last night, the hurricane was pretty crazy here. Pretty crazy. The wind was so blowing so hard, and and the and also the air was cold. So last night I kept hearing noise, and it sounded like my patio furniture, which has a metal frame. I could hear the metal dragging on the concrete on the back patio. So I went out to look, and the tie wraps that I had supporting some of the things on the back patio were snapped. So the wind blew everything so hard that it actually snapped my tie wraps. So I guess tie wraps don't work in hurricane winds. What can I tell you? Hi, Diane. Nice to see you this morning. It's fun to see somebody on this morning. And if anyone else is on or you're watching on the replay, please put a comment in that you popped in so I can say good morning to you. I would really love that. What was the weather like for you out by the coast, Diane? I'd like to hear. You read things and you see things on the news or on if you've got weather apps on your phone and you try to watch videos and things, but you don't really know what's going on because those are always kind of backdated. They're not usually live. Or they might be live at the time, but then you might be watching it and it's a little bit later. So forgive me my weird apparel this morning. I did have to go back outside this morning, of course, to walk the dog. And I was up late because I was trying to find a different way to protect the things out on my patio. I was especially concerned to secure things so that they wouldn't come crashing into the glass of my two back doors and my window in the living room. So everything is safe. Nothing crashed into the windows, which is very good news. But it was really cold last night. The wind, I could maneuver things, and then the wind would whip in through the patio, and I literally just had to brace myself and just hold because there was no way that I could move what I was trying to move, and I didn't want the wind to blow it into me. So I was basically just holding on to things so that they would, until the wind would, kind of whips in and then tapers a little and then whips in, tapers. So I was kind of doing that outside this morning, just rearranging and putting things back outside and fixing all of that. So I'm dressed pretty casual, and it was cold, so I had to keep my ears warm. I had frostbite once, probably 40 years ago, but to this day I had frostbite on the tips of my ears, and to this day, when it's cold outside, especially if there's wind, it's very sensitive and very painful at the tips of my ears. So I've had this on because of the cold, and guess what? My hair's all smashed, so I have to keep my hat on. So that's how it is. So Diane said out by the coast of North Carolina, The winds were high. Yeah, they were really high here, and flooding. Of course, I knew there would be, but a tornado. And I thought we were going to sideswipe the tornadoes this time around. But I'm sorry to hear there was one there. I hope it was small and not much damage. But um, I'm glad to see that it wasn't too terrible out by the coast. Appreciate that little report. I need to find out from my family out in Myrtle Beach how things were there. And of course, I haven't had a chance to call my dad yet to see how things were in Charleston. But quite a storm for this late in the season. And I'm glad that you're safe, Diane. Hope everyone else is. And so this morning, of course, I have storms on my mind. But this week, I've really thought a lot about the fruit of the Spirit. And I just wanted to kind of reiterate something that I did post on Facebook the other day, but I think it's something that's worth repeating. There was a time several years ago when there was a lot of turmoil in my life, which I know that probably sounds hilarious to you guys, because is there ever a time when there isn't turmoil in my life? There's always something to deal with, right? Maybe you can relate to that. There's always something, always something going on, always something to have to deal with, always something that maybe you're facing, or that you're sensing that somewhere, that wherever you are at the moment isn't exactly where you're going to be in a year from now. That's been a big thought of mine lately, but anyway, doesn't matter. I have been thinking this week, though, about the fruit of the Spirit. So there was a time when there was a lot of turmoil going on in my home, in my family. I'm not going to go into the details with you, but it was chaos, and it nearly split my husband and me up. It was just so much to handle, and I mean, it's by the grace of God that our marriage did hold together. And I'm so glad, because it wasn't that many years later that he was diagnosed with cancer and passed away almost a year later. So I'm really grateful that our marriage didn't end in a divorce. That was a topic of conversation at one time, and it was just really, really hard. And I remember one morning when there was just a lot of arguing and yelling and everything going on in the house, which wasn't just between me and him. But when that one morning, it was a Sunday morning, and I had to go to worship practice. And there were, maybe that wasn't the morning I went to worship practice. But anyway, I was in the car, and as I often do, when something is bothering me, the car is a great place to pray, friends. It's a great place to pray. If you have if you have some place to go, the car is a wonderful place to go if you do not live alone. Because you're alone in the car and you can talk to God, you can cry. I mean, of course, you don't want to be emotional driving. I've done that. I got a warning because I didn't realize that I was going really fast in a 35 mile an hour city zone. Thankfully, that was just a warning, but I didn't know I was going that fast because I was just very upset at the time. It was shortly after my stepson had died, and I was a mess. But anyway, that's another story. I remember this one day just saying, Lord, give me peace and give me joy. I'm praying this morning for wisdom, peace, and joy. I need peace and joy. I need my heart to be renewed and restored with peace and joy. And if I remember correctly, I was probably crying my eyes out And, just having this conversation with God. And in a moment of silence, I just felt like I heard the Lord say to me, why are you asking for something I've already given you? Um, and when I heard that, I knew what it meant. It meant that I have the fruits of the Spirit. When I accepted Christ into my life, that was a gift given to me. I have the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit has characteristics that we express, that He expresses through us. And those include joy and peace and kindness and faithfulness. And all the things that I was praying that morning, I realized I don't need to pray for something that's already been given to me. I already have joy. Now, that's not to say that there aren't times when you don't feel joy, when you feel turmoil, you feel grief and sadness. How can you not in this world and with the kinds of things we face in our lives? Death, chaos. There's a million things to fear. um, so why would we think we could escape feeling the emotion of that? God gave us an emotional realm. uh, let me share a picture with you of something. I do also remember asking God, and it was during that same time of turmoil in my life. um, I remember asking God, why did you give us this emotional realm? I hate it. I hate it. I don't want it. I don't want it. Why do we have it? Like, it just creates turmoil. And in fact, it doesn't create turmoil. The world creates turmoil. Let me show you let me explain or describe the picture to you that God gave me in my prayer that day. So I suddenly, I was driving, of course, because that's what happens. I pray in the car. And at that time, it was the only place I was ever alone. So I was in the car praying. And of course, you're in the car. And so it would be pretty easy to think of a radar gun, right? Um, I don't know what made me think of that, but the Lord definitely was part of putting that picture in my brain. And here's what I realized about emotion. Um, I see our emotional realm like a radar gun. A radar gun watches, like it detects, I shouldn't say watches, it detects a car driving by. It can see how fast it's going. A car coming this way, and it can detect what's going on. Like our emotional realm, it detects things that are going on around us. It gives us messages. It indicates it indicates things that are going on. Without our emotional realm, how would we sense that something around the corner might be dangerous, that we need to take caution, or we might need to avoid a space? That's what the emotional realm is for. It's a sensory um, it's a sensory it's a gift of sensory that God has given us to detect what's going on around us. Hi, Laura. Nice to see you this morning. I am so glad that you're on, and I hope that you're getting lots of rest this week. I really do. And you've been in my prayers. I love you. um, but the emotional realm is what should be detecting the things that are going. Of course, we see things with our eyes that are going on, but the emotional realm can sense things beyond what our eyes can sometimes see. And I see the emotional realm like a radar gun that basically is detecting. A radar gun will show, okay, this guy's going 55, he's good. 55, he's good. 55, he's good. 85, aha. Now I'm alerted. And why is that? Because of the radar gun. So when things happen in our lives, our emotions are seeing and watching what's going on. And when there's something that is, needs our immediate attention, that's what the emotional realm is for. I think that's an amazing way to see all this emotion that we experience. It's not for us to react and go nuts. It's not for us to get emotional. The emotional realm is there to make us wise, to know how to respond to what's happening now. um, it's to alert us. The scriptures tell us uh, to be on the alert, to be watching, because the lion prowls around looking for someone to devour. Okay. And our emotional realm was created for us to be able to sense. There's a lion coming. There's nothing wrong with detecting that. We need to. We need to say, there may be danger around this corner. I need extra caution right now. That's what the emotional realm is for. And it's not for us to get emotional, but it's for us to detect how to respond and be responsible in a situation that's changing. Or maybe changing, or we sense is changing, or some danger is coming, or whatever it might be. And I mean, even for joy. But anyhow, so going back to my prayer, what I realize is that every fruit of the Spirit that I used to pray for, patience, faithfulness, joy, peace, I already have those gifts. And if we have the Holy Spirit, we already have those gifts. So friends, stop asking for patience. If you have invited the Lord to come and live in your life, you already have patience. You have more than enough patience that you need to live your life and everything that God puts in your life. You have all the joy you need. You have been given all the peace necessary. When Jesus left this earth, he said, peace be with you. Boy, it's so easy to forget that. He gave us the gift. So when it comes to this emotional realm, we have to remember to cling to the gifts we've already been given. Those are the tools we need to use when something is triggered in our emotional realm. They are the tools to help us responsibly handle what our emotional realm is triggering us is happening now or around the corner. I hope that makes sense. But I think it's crucial. For me, it's definitely has been a turning point. It has been like the shade on my back porch. A shade was hanging forever in my brain. But when I realized this thing about the fruit of the Spirit and the way in which God has given us this emotional realm to be used, not for it to rule us, but for us to use it to be responsible and be the leaders we need to be in our own lives. When I realized those two things and how they fit together, it really changed so much about the way that I see myself, God, and the world around me. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that it is something that you will ponder today and in the days ahead, and really think about it and even pray. Ask God to help you see that this is the way that God helped me to understand it. Maybe you will even be given a clearer picture of all of this. And I would certainly love to hear that if that were the case. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that that's good food for thought today, and that it will help you today and in the days ahead. And I hope you have a great weekend, and that whatever damage has been done in the storm last night, and even as those maybe are going through part of that storm today as it moves through, it's already gone through here. We still have a drizzle, but the wind has definitely died down, which I'm grateful for. I hope those who have lost power, that your power will be restored soon. Oh, thank you, Diane. Diane said it makes sense. Yay! I'm not always sure I make sense. I'm a hot mess. So, um, and I'm all over the place sometimes, right? So I hope that when I get all over the place that I tie it back together somehow before I say goodbye. But I am going to say goodbye. I'm on my way to visit my mom today. I'm going up to see her and run some errands for her, and just spend the afternoon with her. And my little sketch boy is going with me. So, yeah. So I am. Oh, hi, Donna. This is my new roomie. I love her to pieces, and I feel very blessed that God put her in my path, and I can't wait to see what the Lord has for Donna and me in the days ahead. So good morning, Donna. I'm glad you joined us this morning. I didn't even know you knew I had this thing going on Saturday mornings. I don't remember telling you, but I'm glad you were here. And so anyway, y'all, I hope you have a great day and stay safe. And I love you all. And I'll see you next Saturday morning on Fireside Chat. Bye-bye.